Beacon Press Audio presents You Should Be Grateful, Stories of Race, Identity, and Transracial Adoption by Angela Tucker. This audiobook is narrated by Angela Tucker, published by Beacon Press Audio, 2023. You Should Be Grateful, Stories of Race, Identity, and Transracial Adoption by Angela Tucker. This book is for all adoptees who have ever felt hiraeth. Hiraeth, noun, a deep yearning for a home that never was. On children. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he also loves the bow that is stable. Khalil Gibran, The Prophet. Introduction. Adoptee Manifesto. An Adoptee Manifesto. We can love more than one set of parents. Relationships with our birth parents, foster parents, and our adoptive parents are not mutually exclusive. We have the right to own our original birth certificate. Curiosity about our roots is innate. We need access to our family medical history. The pre-verbal memories you have with your first family are real. Postnatal culture shock exists. It's okay to feel a mixture of gratitude and loss. We are not alone. We have each other. There are 7 million adoptees in the world. 6 out of every 10 Americans have a personal experience with adoption. Yet the concept of adoptee centrism may be unfamiliar. I'd like to introduce you to the concept because it's the lens through which I've written this book. Centering adoptee voices is very important to me because adoptive parents are overwhelmingly represented in adoption dialogue, laws, and public perception, and oftentimes adoptive parents unwittingly direct their own children's narratives. I don't believe that a full understanding and education about adoption can be had without listening to adoptees' first-hand perspectives of what it means to be adopted. In November 2014, I participated in the hashtag #FlipTheScript social media movement, a movement started by Rosita Gonzalez, a Korean adoptee, with the simple goal of amplifying adoptee voices during National Adoption Awareness Month. The campaign reached 30 million households in 30 days. This was both thrilling and saddening, because as we began to speak out, we were often shut down by those who demanded that we should just be grateful for being adopted. The word should has always irked me. In a therapy session, I unearthed the reason why the word is frustrating. It feels like a combination of judgment and failure, like I was doing something wrong before I'd even expressed anything. And it was often said by people who meant well and had the kindest of intentions. It wasn't meant to be a judgment statement, but it was. I have had the great fortune to talk about adoptees' rights, including in my 2013 documentary Closure, which recounts the search for my birth parents and which streamed on Netflix, Hulu, iTunes, Amazon Prime, and Quelly TV. I've produced the Adoptee Next Door podcast, 3 short films about open adoptions, and a 3-part web series featuring interviews with transracially adopted youth. I've enjoyed consulting with the writers of NBC's show This Is Us and the Tony Award-winning Broadway show Jagged Little Pill to ensure that the fictional adoptee characters were accurately represented. These opportunities, along with my blog, The Adopted Life, have led to my great privilege of speaking to more than 10,000 adoptees in 45 states and 7 countries and 5 continents about their experiences, concerns, fears, and dreams as they chart a course through the complicated experience of adoption. I've drawn from these experiences to populate some of the stories in this book. The adoptees whose stories you'll read within these pages were all adopted by American families. Some joined their new families through domestic adoption like me, some through international adoption. Beyond geography, we are connected by questions of who we are and where we come from. Questions that are harder than you might think to answer, because for many of us, our origins are a mystery. Some of the names have been changed in this book. Dialogue is rendered as best as I can remember it, or from journal entries that I wrote after the encounter. In this book, you may notice me ducking and dodging with my words. That's because being honest about adoption is a tricky minefield to navigate. Writing honestly about adoption seems to inevitably hurt someone or to risk being misconstrued. A common through line is for adoptees to conceal their burdens from their adoptive family to make everyone around them comfortable. For this reason, it was quite difficult to write this book. A connection to my birth family was always important to me, as was having access to my medical history. But the more I was dissuaded by folks who told me to just be grateful for the family I have, the more it fueled me. It fueled me to write the manifesto as a way to affirm my reality in a society that was pushing back against it at every turn. I've spent countless hours convincing others and myself that each of the statements in my manifesto matter and have legitimacy. After I wrote an adoptee manifesto, I had it designed and framed and hung it on my wall to help remind me of my rights. It must be noted that this is not a how-to book, nor is there a pro-adoption or anti-adoption slant. This book does not prescribe a future of the very complex world of transracial adoption, nor do I speak on behalf of all adoptees. Instead, I'm seeking to raise your consciousness about the adoption industry by sharing the stories of some adoptees. It is my hope that this book will ensure that our society values the lived and varied experiences of adoptees. Part 1. Discovering. Chapter 1. You should be grateful. Good morning. Thank you for coming today. From my spot behind the black curtain, I can't see the person who is introducing me, but her voice resounds through the auditorium. No matter how many times I give keynote speeches, I still get butterflies in my stomach just before I'm introduced. My phone buzzes in my pocket, and I panic for a second, realizing I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb before my talk. I fumble it from my pocket and am instantly soothed to see a text message from Brian, who is filming a documentary 2 states away. Of all the things I love about my husband, his ability to know exactly when I need an encouraging text may be my favorite. You got this, my love. Call me after you're done. Maybe you saw her on Anderson Cooper, watched the documentary Closure on Netflix, and bawled all the way through it like I did, or perhaps saw her tussle with Jada Pinkett Smith when explaining the complexities of being a black woman raised by white people. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, the Velvet Hammer, transracial adoptee, Angela. I don't wait to hear my last name before striding onto the stage, timing the entrance for ultimate effect. My foot slips for a second. Perhaps I shouldn't have worn these 3-inch heels. I shorten my steps a bit to ensure I don't end up on my face in front of the hundreds of people gathered in the auditorium. But glancing down at those patent leather beauties, I decide I'm pleased with my impulse purchase and the combination of my lemonade braids, a cornrowed hairstyle, fuchsia pink lipstick, and gold hoop earrings have me feeling
Sample complete. Ready to continue?